Hey folks, welcome back to Failure Retirement. So today I wanted to talk about some of the stuff I've been watching on YouTube here recently. Some videos. One is by a guy whose channel is called Repair's Rule. He is a retired self-employed guy like me. So some of the things he talks about I find especially interesting because we have that self-employment piece in common. And I think he is, he's still working a fair amount himself, similar to me, but it's things we choose to do, right? And then also, I've been watching quite a bit. There's a newer channel called Old Guy Talks Money. So those two guys, Repairs Rule and Old Guys Talk Money, Old Guy Talks Money, I'll put links to their channels in here in the description so you can go straight there if you want to check it out. Both of them good guys. They were both talking about retirement side hustles recently, making a little extra money in retirement. And then Joe Kuhn was also talking about how many income streams he has in his retirement. And that's a kind of a thing with me because I attribute a fair amount of my success, my own success, to realizing way back in about 2006 or 7 that a guy just really needs multiple income streams. This was my opinion at the time. My whole life was wrapped around one job, and if that job went away, I was in trouble right away. So I started diversifying, working side hustles, doing other things until I became fully self-employed and then still had multiple income streams. So I wanted to wrap all of these subjects together kind of into one thing. Um, Also, don't think I mentioned this, but Jim at Jim Living the Retired Life, he was talking about his financial advisor some more. Jim and I both talked about that recently. Something got on me. I don't know what it was. Anyway, we had both talked about our financial advisors recently, and he was talking about his asset allocation. So I'm going to wrap all this in together. So for me, um, we are heavily invested in real estate. And so our financial advisor, with with all the IRAs and everything he's managing, the Roth, and I think two other IRAs. He's got some money markets for us. All the stuff he's managing, that is only about 10% of our net worth. Okay, so I don't really get all that wrapped up in the asset allocation that he has. I'm just kind of watching him do his job, which is fine so far. I filled out a risk tolerance question and answer thing when I first went to him. Everything looks good, so I'm just letting him do his job. My diversification is coming through the other things that I do, so I don't get wrapped up in the day to day of what percentage of stocks I have versus bonds or what have you. Okay. So, because we are heavily invested in real estate, I consider each property its own income stream. So, we have multiple income streams from that. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty on this with you guys, but between Mrs. Failure and I, we each have kind of a little job we do. Like she has her school board work where we get our health insurance. I sit on a board myself. Those are both basically paid positions. So even though I'm not going to count hers as an income stream because she's paid through health insurance, but it kind of is. We'd be paying for that if she wasn't doing it. Mine is a paid position. Yes, I'm working, but honestly, it's maybe 5 hours a year, typically 6 hours a year. That's how many hours I put into this. And then we have multiple businesses still that we're running. And I know you're saying, and it's kind of fair, well, the guy's not really retired. I don't know if you're familiar with the name of the channel, Failure at Retirement. There you have it. But the thing is, the guy's not really spending any significant time at any of these things. Most of the businesses that we still have, I'm involved with them typically 1 to 2 hours a month. The walnut brokerage business that I've talked about before that I'm involved in, I'm probably on the average. It's seasonal. I'm busier in the fall with that than I am the rest of the year. That probably takes, I don't know, 3 hours a month, 4 hours a month on average, probably. So again, for me, I've quit side hustles before because the time I put into them wasn't worth the financial return. So I've quit quite a few of them, and this is kind of one of the ways I'm cutting back and getting better at retirement. Okay, but I still have quite a few of them because I like the multiple income streams. I think that's very, very important. We're going to have choices going forward. Where do we get our money from, right? Roth IRA, traditional IRA. Do we pull cash out of a business? That's the way my retirement is set up to work. Okay, and as long as it's not taking much of my time, I don't care. I got to have something to do, right? I'm not going to sit in my recliner all the time. I'm not interested, quite honestly, in riding my bike all day, every day, or kayaking or golf or anything else. I do that. I don't play golf. My wrist won't allow it anymore. But, I do that stuff. I filmed myself riding my bike before. I do whatever I want to do every single day. It's really, really rare that I actually have to be somewhere at a particular time. Really rare. So, yes, I work a little. It's not that much. I think Joe said he had around 12 side hustles. I counted them up. I think I got 16, maybe 17. I counted them, but I didn't write them all down. So after a while, it's like, hold up, did I get that one? Did I not get that one? And then we're not drawn from IRAs. We're not drawn on Social Security yet. We're nowhere near it. So, those will be basically future side hustles. I'm not even counting that. And do we have that many rentals? No, not even close, right? But we do have a bunch of little side hustles, you know, stacking hay. I stack hay every spring and into the summer a little bit for people. There's one I got to work at, but the rate of return per hour is pretty decent on that. So I'm going to continue to do that probably a couple more years. And then whenever the time's right, then I'll cut that one off too. So anyway, those guys kind of inspired me to make this video. Again, Jim living the retired life, old guy talks money and repairs rule. Check out their channels if you get a chance. Again, the links will be in the description. And if you have any questions, about anything, I will say, I forgot to add this in here. So the financial advisor is managing about 10% of our net worth, but he's managing probably 15% of what I consider our investment assets, right? Our assets that return money to us and provide our income in retirement. So why the difference between 10% of our net worth and 15% of our investment assets? Well, it's the value of our house, mostly, primarily, personal vehicles, some other things, our place in the mountains. So that's probably roughly 5%, but that doesn't really provide any income for us, right? So there's the difference. So really, as far as investments goes, the financial advisor has about 15%. And again, I don't get too wrapped up in the day to day of what's going on over there. Guy's working for me, he's doing a job, I'm satisfied. That's what matters to failure. Alrighty, sorry for jumbling it up a little bit. That's the way a guy's mind works most of the time. So appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment if you have a question, and we'll see you next time on Failure at Retirement. Have a good day.